Hi, I'm Leah Shingleton. I'm the homeschooling mother of 5 children, and I've been homeschooling for 15 years. I am making a series of videos for moms who were not expecting to have their children at home doing school during the COVID-19 epidemic, and really need some kinesthetic things for their children to do. I made another video already with history for Greece and Egypt and a lot of hands-on things. This one is geared towards science, and it's specifically on electricity, electrical currents, and well, not really currents, electrical components actually. So this the whole thing started out, I have a very kinesthetic oldest son who loves to take things apart and figure out what's going on, and he would take apart my old ostrizer or any old phones, anything he could that he found around the house that he wasn't going to get into trouble if he took apart, and a couple things he kind of wasn't supposed to, but it was a good learning experience for him. And so I took that concept and used it for my other kids too. What this idea is that you take something old that isn't super, like that is kind of obsolete. And this is the innards of a stereo. And I let my kids kind of look at it. And first we talked about what's the similarity between water and electricity. They're not exactly the same because obviously water just flows to the ocean and electricity has to have a full circuit. But there are a lot of things that are similar, such as human beings can control water in a similar way that we control electricity. We can stop it and make a reservoir where things can flow in and then build up and a little bit more can flow out. We can change the amount of water going through, and we can change the amount of current going through. We can change we can stop and start it. We live in an area where there's a lot of irrigation ditches, and my children have actually seen the gates that come down, and they screw it down, and it screws down and puts a gate down and stops the water and redirects the flow. So that is a possibility as well, and I can explain to them how that is like a diode. Is that a diode? Yeah, that one's a diode. So for this, it was really not a lot of preparation. We just took this apart, opened it up, and then I let my kids do some exploration and employ the scientific method, which is you first look at things and you make your own theory, and then you find out what really is. So this is my youngest son's theory. So after looking at the different components, he drew a picture of them and then wrote down what he thought they did. This one's ones and zeros, so he was understanding the idea of binary. He knew that these two, although they look different, have the same purpose, and that this one, he said, this makes it so the battery does not blow up. So he knew that that was something of a control and to change the power. Anyway, after they were done with that, then we went back through and I taught them what it was. Now, I am not an expert on electricity at all, but it was very simple. I Googled components of electronic components, and then I got keywords like capacitor, diode, things like that, and wrote them down, and then I looked each one of those up, and I just clicked on the images and see what they look like. Then I knew what they look like on here, and then I could explain to them what the basic concept was behind it and how that ties in with water, and so it makes it a concept that's easy to grasp. So like here's 2 little examples. This is called, this is a capacitor right here. These little round things, and they come in different sizes of the capacitor. And the concept behind these is they're kind of like a reservoir. So the electricity can flow in, just like in a reservoir, the electricity flows in, and then it fills up the reservoir, essentially, but then it also has a way for it to flow out. And so it keeps, instead of a impulsive thing, it becomes potential energy because it just stores that up so that it gives a steady flow and controls that in that way. The other one is the idea of a diode. A diode only allows things, these are the diodes, little bitty things right here, little diodes. They look like a little, that's a wire with a little plastic thing and some little colored lines on it. And the diode's purpose is to, it basically makes it go only one way. So it controls the flow of the electricity and it can only go one way. And then you have transistors, and transistors have 3 little prongs. This is a transistor right here. It has 3 little prongs. There's another transistor. I saw a couple more. Anyway, the transistors, they are the gates. They're just like the gates I was explaining, that they twist down and they shut off the water and they can close things off. And so that's what a transistor does. And so it was so cool to see what my kids came up with, what their ideas were. Some were right on, some were a little, kind of guessing, but it was good and healthy for them to get involved in that. And then one thing we did that was super fun after that was we got these snap circuits. And snap circuits, they come already prepared to make it less frustrating for children. So the snap circuits, and you can just get these on Amazon. You can order them. I can put a link in or something. And the snap circuits are so neat because, instead of dealing with wires, you just deal with these. This is like the wire, and then it snaps together. And then here is your capacitor. Capacitor, yeah. And that snap on the wire. And so then you can make things, and it has instructions, or they can create their own. And it even has this really handy little board that they all snap onto to keep things in line and put them where you want. And so the kids don't get so frustrated. It has all of the components that you need, and then you can do simple things like hook up a solar panel and turn on a light and then take it outside. And so it's just so fun. So I will be posting something every couple days, and I hope that helps get everybody through all this crazy time. And if you subscribe, then you'll know when I post things. So go ahead and subscribe, and I have really enjoyed doing this, and I'm going to continue. I'll probably do another history one next. So thank you.